Fire started 2 miles from my house and it's spreading at the speed, the winds. I'm not playing no games. I said, oh hell no. I grabbed my dog. We ran to that car and we were out of there. It's like everything around us is burning. The skies are black. We wake up to find out that the fire has just blown up. It woke me up and I immediately just went into a panic attack. Like I felt spiritually like off because the outer world was literally reflecting how I was feeling on the inside. And then our winds were like 80 to 100 miles per hour. The fire had literally gone from 1,000 acres to 10,000 acres just like that. But I'm over here just bawling my eyes out because I just had to evacuate my freaking house. We've been in this for a minute now. These fires are still going. I'm losing track of days here. It looked like we woke up in hell. This feels really weird outside, so I texted my best friend and I'm like, I'm predicting an earthquake today. Yes, I had to evacuate my house. No, it didn't catch on fire, thank God. That's why it's so important for us to come together as a community and really pour out to the people who need us more than ever right now. Hi YouTube, my name is Jaida Henley and today I want to share with you my 2025 Los Angeles wildfire experience. Yes, I had to evacuate my house. No, it didn't catch on fire. Thank God. All right, so I just want to give you a little bit of context. I moved to Los Angeles in April of 2023 and I've been here for about 2 years now. I absolutely love Los Angeles, but I'm from Atlanta, so we don't really have too many natural disasters over in Georgia. We don't get too much snow. We get tornado warnings all the time, but that's typically it. Moving to LA, I experienced my first earthquake. It wasn't too bad. And then also when I first moved out here, they were having like really weird ice freeze storms. And now 2 years later, here we are with fires. So let's all rewind. Let's rewind back to Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. I woke up around 5 in the morning because I had a prayer call around 6 in the morning on my second day of fasting. And then I was gonna go to a weight training class at 6:30 in the morning, right? So I had a full day ahead of me. Even though I woke up an hour early, I still was just really off timing. I just felt really weird, like I couldn't be precise. I was moving too fast, dropping stuff, spilling stuff, just having to be extra patient with myself. I ended up becoming a little distracted by my fast prayer call, and then I actually ended up missing my weightlifting class by 9 minutes. I got lucky they didn't give me a strike, but you know, I just felt like, man, like it was just a morning, you guys, you know, just a little frustrated. I woke up on the wrong side of bed, you could say. Hi guys, it is currently 6:47 in the morning and I missed my weightlifting class by 7 minutes. But thank goodness they didn't give me a strike, so that's good. I don't know what to do. Like there's so much to start with. I have such a busy day. So let's just figure it out, right? Hello. Hi, how's it going? I will say I have been moving entirely too fast today. Entirely too fast. Like dropping stuff in a rush. And I woke up on time too, so it's like, girl, what are you doing? Just gonna take a few minutes to get our day started. See? Just dropping everything today, yo. Clumsy the klutz. Clumsy the klutz. You guys, this is why you need to wake up and figure out how you want to start your day before you get distracted and start going on social media and texting everybody and their mama. Because I didn't organize my day for myself, and now you guys just saw how crazy that just 5-minute setup has been, and I still haven't plugged in my AirPods. Put yourself first in the mornings, because I woke up and decided to just be distracted, and now my whole day is distracted. How you start your day is very important. I do my own little workout on the open gym floor, and then I'm taking a shower at the gym, getting ready for a photo shoot. I have to be towards Long Beach around 10 a.m. I ended up making it there realistically like 11 a.m. But I was taking a shower at my gym and the fire alarm starts going off. I'll insert a clip here. Bro, I know this is not happening while I'm in the shower. The fire alarm starts going off. So I send this clip to my best friend and I told her that described how my day was going. So I ended up leaving the gym and it's really windy outside. LA is great today. LA is windy, y'all. Look at that, it's so windy. It just feels really weird outside. So I texted my best friend and I'm like, I'm predicting an earthquake today. I don't know why, but this is how I feel. And I wanted to text her that just in case something had happened. Like, you know, I didn't want to be like, oh, I felt like something was gonna happen. So I actually texted her and said, hey, I think something's gonna happen today. I texted her that around 9:30 in the morning. And I drove to my photo shoot, which was about like 50-minute drive. As I was on the way to the hotel that I was shooting at, I saw a bunch of floods. And I was just like, what in the world is going on with LA today? Like, it's just such a weird vibe. It's windy, you know, it's freaking, there's floods on these random roads. What is going on today? Like, it's flooding over here. I just feel so off in my spirit. It was just an interesting day. And I'm over there just shooting with the photographer, a few other models. We're doing our Valentine's Day pictures early, and this one model leaves and she sends the photographer a video of the interstate. And she tells us that a fire had started just up in Malibu, and you could see the smoke from the interstate leaving in Long Beach. And Malibu kind of has fires. California has wildfires often, especially in the Malibu area. So I was just kind of like, oh, well, you know, that's awful. I hope that they contain it. So I take a picture, I'm on the way home, and I ended up on this like hill, and I take a picture of LA. And somebody swipes up and they said, it looks so smoky. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't see any smoke, you know, like, what are you talking about?
Anyway, I have to hop off. Yep.
So the next morning, we wake up to find out that the fire has just blown up. This is where it got really weird. So I'm going through like a breakup, right? And like my ex and I used to go almost every other day to this specific spot in Malibu at the beach, right? And I woke up the next morning to find out that that spot had been destroyed. And it's crazy because, you know, going through a breakup, I really took that as like a spiritual, like, oh my gosh, like the bridges are really burned. Like, what is the odds that out of everywhere that the fire could have started, it was literally at our spot?
It's cause they actress, and I got clips to shoot them with, no cap Brad Pitt.
You know, so I just really felt on edge. I felt conflicted. I felt spiritually like off because the outer world was literally reflecting how I was feeling on the inside, and I just didn't know how to feel about that. And I'm texting my best friend just grieving the moment, like, you know, this feels really weird. And the winds were still picking up. It's so windy. I went to walk my dog and my pants almost blew off. I'm so serious. I'll put in videos. It was so windy and dark, and the clouds just looked like, it was dark outside, but you could tell there was like black skies. Like, I went outside and the sky was black. And you could see little glimpses of blue. That's how you know it wasn't just like the dark night. It was smoke, y'all. The smoke was traveling over to my house.
It's not ever this windy.
It was just really weird, y'all, and I'm like, okay, like, I pray this doesn't move towards us. But next thing you know, the fire had literally gone from 1,000 acres to 10,000 acres, just like that, in the Palisades fire. And then the Eaton fire, which is on the east of me, so Palisades is on the west, Eaton fire is on the east. That one's at, what, 13,000 acres at this point, burned. So it's like everything around us is burning. The skies are black. I could literally see the flames from my gym. Today, I could see the fire just engulfing in flames, and you know, I'm really far, so the fact that you could see the flames and not just the smoke just goes to show how high those fires really were. And then our winds were like 80 to 100 miles per hour, so you could just imagine like fires going left and right. And it's crazy, I was actually supposed to go to Vegas on that Wednesday. Well, my Vegas trip ended up I ended up canceling my Vegas trip so I could focus, because I am traveling at the end of the month and I want to save. But it was just crazy how all of a sudden I needed to evacuate too. I have like a huge adjustment disorder. That is something that I've come to learn about myself. I like routine. I like to know where things are, and I like to have similarities. So whenever I'm like forced to be out of my environment, it does kind of leave me a little unsettled, and I just want to think about how I can get back to my environment. So I told my mom, like, Mom, you know, I'm not gonna evacuate yet. Everyone on the East Coast is freaking out. I'm not gonna evacuate, don't worry, like, I'm fine. I don't wanna take up the roads for the people whose houses actually did just burn down, you know, and I don't think anything's gonna happen to Hollywood because, you know, like, why would they let something happen to Hollywood? But she was just reminding me, she's like, but they're not God. Like telling my mom, like, I'm fine, telling Bigo, like, don't worry guys, I'm gonna leave the roads for people who actually need it. You know, I don't wanna take up the traffic, etc, etc. And I'm on the Ring app. By the way, if you don't have the Ring camera, you need it. Just because that neighborhood watch app thing that they have is like, forget the camera, that neighborhood watch group chat has been, so I'll link it down below. But yeah, so I've been keeping up with the chat, and then all of a sudden I just saw a vegetation fire. Like, it's just scary sky, smoke, you didn't want to go outside, ashes blowing everywhere. It looked like the freaking Hunger Games. Like, it looked like we woke up in hell. It was crazy. And then like it was burning at the very top of our hills, not like down in the lower land areas, so we could literally see the sky burning in front of us. So I'm just sitting there, just hanging out, chilling, and then all of a sudden, I get a notification on the Watch Duty app. Shout out the Watch Duty app. I did not have the Watch Duty app until now, but it's so good. It's a fire tracker. Never thought I'd need these things in my life. So I remember I got a notification on my phone that a small vegetation fire had started in Laurel Canyon, which is 2 miles from me. And I literally said, oh, hell no. Grabbed my dog. I spilt green tea all over my desk, all over my keyboard. But I said, oh, hell no. I grabbed my dog, my 30-pound pit bull. We ran to that car and we were out of there. Like, I wanted to stay back so bad. Like, I wanted to doubt my intuition so bad. But I was on TikTok like 10 minutes before that, and I saw how many people were getting gridlocked and how people had to abandon their cars on Sunset Boulevard. And that's all I could think about was traffic and these dang Hollywood red lights. As I go to like make sure everything is packed, I come down to a freaking parking ticket because I had moved my car closer, and I came down to a freaking $93 parking ticket. So we gotta figure that out. So I'm trying to evacuate with the dog, and I was posting on Snapchat about like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go, you know, like Vegas is not an option anymore. These fires are crazy. If I would have evacuated to Vegas, it would have been messed up, because moving to where all of the like not concrete and all the dry bushes were driving to Vegas, you know, like that's where the fire spread, literally from 1,000 acres to 10,000 acres in 4 hours. Those are the 4 hours I would have been using to get to Vegas. So I'm really glad I didn't evacuate to Vegas. I posted about it and I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. There's a fire north of me, west of me, east of me. Like the only way I can go is south, and I don't know where to go. And so my homegirl saw my Snapchat and she FaceTimed me. She's like, babe, I have actually guest house. Please come stay. Like, you know, if you need anything, I'm here for you. I'm like, oh, God is so good. Like, I'm so grateful that I have genuine friends out here. I didn't want to take her up on that offer, but when evacuation came and I saw that that brush fire had started, we didn't even have an evacuation order yet, but a fire started 2 miles from my house and it's spreading at the speed, the winds, I'm not playing no games. So I hopped in my car and next thing you know, we're just driving. And it just feels so heartbreaking because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know if I was saying goodbye to my comfort zone. I didn't know really like what was going on, if I could go back the next morning. I didn't know where I was going, you know, I'm just going to some guest house that I was told I could come stay at. Just very grateful, you know, that I didn't end up having to go to an evacuation center, because I can only imagine the discomfort that, you know, my neighbors are going through that did lose their homes, and they are stuck in evacuation centers with newborns or dogs or, you know, just animals. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry, like I really wish I could give you some peace of mind. So I ended up driving all the way to Torrance, and the air quality is pretty bad out there, but everyone's fine. They're just talking about what's going on in LA, and I'm just over here bawling my eyes out, like, you know, like this neighborhood over here is, everyone's just fine. Everyone's just a little like, geez, you know, what's happening in LA, or like, geez, like pray for LA, like, oh my gosh, poor LA. But I'm over here just bawling my eyes out because I just had to evacuate my freaking house. And shout out to my ex's mom, because I did not know who else to reach out to. I did not want to reach out to my ex, but she was so nice to me, and she told me like if I got too scared that I could, you know, be with them and everything. So she's a real one. You're a real one. So I ended up evacuating for the night with my dog, and then the next morning, mom texted me like at like 5 a.m. because it's 8 a.m. for them. And she was just checking in on me, but it woke me up, and I immediately just went into a panic attack. Like, I didn't know where I was, you know, like I just wanted to be in my home. I just wanted this to stop. Like, I just wanted it to be over. I wanted to wake up and this be over with. I went on Bigo, and somebody told me that they were supposed to be lifting the evacuations at 7:30 in the morning. So my can't sit still self decided to drive back to my home at 7 in the morning, because it looked like it had been mostly contained. I'd been paying attention to the resident app on Ring, like the resident chat, and you know, some people ended up staying in their homes. So I'm like, if these people stayed in their homes, like I'm good to go home. And my Ring camera was still working, so obviously if my Ring camera is working, my house was still standing. Right here, this clip is from my old apartment. This is how close it was to my old apartment. So what was that? That was Wednesday. All of that happened on Wednesday, literally. So Thursday comes around. What is today, Sunday? Oh my gosh, y'all, we've been in this for a minute now. These fires are still going. And when I drove back up to my city to make sure everything was good, I actually drove to Wattles Creek Mansion, because that's where they said the fire was. And honestly, like, I love that trail. Like, the Wattles Creek Trail up at the very top, that was where I would take my dog to go off leash and just enjoy. And he's a pit bull, so you know, like, I gotta find like really cool spots, secluded spots to take my dog to be off leash. But we did, and that's where we would always go. So I wanted to drive up and make sure that it was safe, and they have this little mansion. I wanted to make sure the mansion was safe. It's crazy though, I had just discovered this trail like 2 weeks ago, this new trail. It had Buddha statues all over it. It was really interesting, like gnomes, just really interesting art. Very spiritual place, you know. I could feel like we were walking into something that we probably weren't supposed to. And that was on fire. It was burning. That was the only spot that was burning. When I got there, there was still fire trucks. Firefighters were putting out the little small bush fires, but for the fire that was closest to me, Sunset Fire, they contained it. So once Sunset Fire was contained, then, you know, people in Hollywood and West Hollywood were okay to go back home. Just want to stay inside because the air quality is really bad. So then yesterday, I don't know, I'm losing track of days here. Yesterday, I ended up going to volunteer at the Dream Center. I had never been to the Dream Center before. I'm so glad that I went. You know, I didn't have any friends or like family to go volunteer with, but I did go thinking that I would volunteer with this church I just started going to. I don't know anybody there either. But I just started going to this church, and they said that they were gonna be at the Dream Center, so I showed up to the Dream Center to volunteer, you know, maybe get closer with my church. I never found my church. They were there, but I didn't know who to look for either, and there's just so many people, so many things to do, and I wasn't there to be with my church. I was there to help. I was there to be of service. I was there to deliver and be a vessel of God. Because one thing about me, I did go to the gym like before I went to the Dream Center, and I did a little yoga class trying to just relax myself, because I have been so on edge. Y'all have anxiety and depression, so stuff like this does not help. I was just trying to, you know, focus on myself and everything. I was gonna get back in my routine and just try to act as if nothing was happening, but I just couldn't. I couldn't sit still knowing that my neighbors were suffering. So I got up and I drove to go volunteer, and it felt amazing. I ended up like with some random women, some random church, you know, like some random group of people, and we were packing women's clothes. Like everybody was doing everything. There was like everything you could be working on, but I ended up in the clothing section where we were packaging little grocery bags. We would put 2 pairs of the same size outfits in a bag with like other little things, and then, you know, group them together so that way people who don't have clothes now can get some clothes. Y'all, the Dream Center alone had over 10,000 pounds of donated clothes in one day, and that's just one donation center that has been popping up. So I'm really proud of LA. I'm so glad to be a part of this community, and I'm so glad that I can provide my light and my strength to those who will need it right now. It's crazy because like my best friend told me at first that this was a sign to leave LA, saying that LA was literally pushing me out, and I told her, I was like, no, I think this is God's way of forcing me to finally recognize where I've decided to be. I've always been on the fence of if I'm gonna go to Atlanta or LA, go where, you know, LA is like a place I follow my dreams, but it was never really like home. I was always missing home. This is my home, as much as I wanted to acknowledge it or not, you know, and it really took a lot, it's sad to say that it took a lot of catastrophe for me to really like realize that, but now I'm just so in love with this community and I just want to help, and I've never seen LA so giving and so caring and so kind before. It doesn't help that people are, you know, just bashing us on the internet right now. Our fires are still going. I even had a friend post this morning about how they needed help evacuating. So, you know, like we really are going through a tough time, and it's 5 days in. And we're really grateful for the help that we have had. Our firefighters that have gone nonstop without eating and taking breaks in these high adrenaline moments. You know, we're grateful for all of the people who took in the animals. We're grateful for all of the people who are being so selfless and spending so many exhausting hours at these evacuation centers. And I'm so grateful for the churches because they're just being so welcoming and loving. And, you know, so many people are finding God. There's just so much God going around LA right now. Even today at the gym, I saw this girl and it's like the back of her sweatshirt said, "Let the Lord be with you." And amen, y'all. Like, I really think that LA is going through a rebirth process right now. And it's so sad that everybody like who lost their belongings, but it's such a miracle that only 11 people passed away in a fire that was 2 times the size of Manhattan. That's why it's so important for us to come together as a community and really pour out to the people who need us more than ever right now. And even if you're not in LA, pray for rain for us, you know, just send us well wishes, well thoughts. You know, there's a time and a place for judgment and reevaluation, and you can make it however you want with the blame game, but just wait, you know, just wait. We're hurting, we're suffering. We really need love and compassion and empathy right now. And that's why I'm also making this video, because if somebody who was impacted sees this, I want you to know that there really is a whole community out there doing our best to try and make you feel loved and make you feel less lost. We can't make up for everything that you lost. We can't make up for you having to start over, but we can show you the love and we can be God's light for you. So, the fires are still going. So as of right now, I'm safe. Everything is fine. Today is Sunday, January 12th. The Sunset Fire has been contained. The Palisades Fire has not. The Eaton Fire has not. And we have anticipated winds coming our way. So just take it easy on us. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Comment if you've ever been through anything like this and what you would pack if you had to run out first, because I definitely will have an emergency evacuation bag in my car at all times now with changed clothes, some shoes. Like, it don't matter, y'all. I'm keeping it in my car. I learned my lesson. A mask. I had to buy a freaking fire mask. And no, this is not just for dust. I already had this whole debate on Bigo. It says fire, smoke, and volcanic vapor. So try me. Also, shout out to my mama for getting me an air purifier, because We really need them right now in LA. Purifiers, and you can imagine they're going like hotcakes right now, so. But I will say LA definitely handled this really well and is handling this really well because we haven't mass panicked compared to when I was in Georgia and there was an ice storm. That, like, it's been so much smoother panicking. I don't know. But I will say I did miss that gridlock when I had to evacuate, so, because they did end up gridlocking in Hollywood when they were evacuating. And I missed it by like 10 minutes for following my gut. So trust your gut, always. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if anything like this has ever happened to you before. Let me know if you want an update video. And I hope you're well, I hope you're safe. And don't be rude. Show some love to some people who need it. And if you're in position to donate, please donate. I'll leave a link below. If you're not in position to donate, just reshare the word or send the link to somebody who may actually have the funds to donate. Your influence matters, your words matter, and you may just be the motivation somebody needs to make a big change. So I love you guys. Stay safe. I just wanted to make this video while it's like fresh and, you know, in the scene for me before I just start reflecting on it and looking back on it. Like, no, this is like now. So yeah, much love. Bye.